Welcome back to another episode of the Tailored Property Wealth Podcast. My name is Casey Taylor. I'm the host of the podcast. And in today's episode, we are talking about the Australian home building target. Is it on track to achieve the set amount that the government has put in place over the next 5 years, being 1.2 million homes? And it's been a pretty audacious goal to set because based on these numbers, the government has never hit those numbers in the past, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to happen again. So we're going to get into that today, and we know that supply being added, if there is an effect with that supply being added, that is lower supply whilst we've still got people coming into the country and that demand is still increasing. So our supply to demand is in a position where it's going to continue to push pressure, especially in those metro locations. So as mentioned, the home building target is 1.2 million new homes under the National Housing Accord's 5-year plan. So it is a lot of homes every single year, right? To be able to achieve that. Historically, we have never hit 240,000 homes per year. So it's great to set that goal, but the reality is, can we actually make it happen? And unfortunately, it's looking like that might not be the case. So according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, builders completed only 44,884 homes in the September 2024 quarter, which is just over 15,000 fewer than the required pace, which is a massive, massive difference in terms of the home number. And then if we're looking at the average people who reside in that home, that is a lot of people who don't have a home, which is going to cause pressure on that supply and demand. It's obviously going to negatively impact affordability as well, right? Because it's going to continue to push prices up because of the competition there, the high demand with the lower supply. So it's something that we need to factor into that. Some of the cities that do get the most population growth are Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. Okay, so those areas are going to see a lot of that population. If we don't have the approvals keeping up with that, there's going to be pressure there as well. All right, housing targets. So let's just have a quick look here at some of the different states. And some of this data is a bit lagged, so we can only go off that. However, holistically for the quarterly target, nationally it was 60,000. The ACT, it's fallen behind homes, only about 50 homes, so nothing crazy there. Northern Territory, they're behind, let's call it 400 homes. New South Wales, here's where some of the numbers are really off. So the target for New South Wales was 18,822 and what was achieved was 11,220. So there's a massive difference there. Queensland, again, 12,287 homes and only 8,177 completed. South Australia, they've fallen about 1,000 short. We're supposed to build 4,191 and built 3,104. Victoria, it was probably the closest. So was meant to build 15,316 and it's only built 15,302. I shouldn't say only. It was very close. And then we have Western Australia, 6,454 is what they were meant to do. And as per the September quarter for that one, 5,924. Tasmania fell short about 600. So, yeah, interesting to see. But unfortunately, we are not keeping up with those targets that are set. So holistically for the September quarter, it was, like I said, that 15,000 fewer homes. It's a big number. Now, there's a few other things that are going to continue to negatively impact the construction as well and these targets being achieved. One of the new developments at the moment is the Trump tariffs and that going on. Is that going to negatively impact the cost of construction in our country? We obviously know that on the onset of COVID, we had massive spikes in materials, which negatively affect the construction space. So is that going to continue? It's something that we need to factor in and consider, because if we see that increase, it's gonna affect that number for sure. So it's not going to get any easier. That's the reality of the situation, and that's why we focus on established properties in established areas, because the scarcity of those over time is going to continue to get more and more scarce because of that. Now, recently, PropTrack, they've released their data on the housing supply shortfall. So there was actually 62,000 homes short in 2024, which is a massive number. And then on the flip side of that, some of the growth into the country is extremely high. And like I said, it's going to put that pressure. So over the year ending June 2024, Australia's population grew by 552,000 people. Now, it was down from the year prior at 638,000, but still we have 500,000 people moving into the country, a lot of those people moving to the metro locations, and that is going to continue to put that pressure on the supply because of the high demand. So if you're out there and you're thinking of whether to invest or not, just this fundamental issue going on in the country is something really important to make your decision on. And then if you're going and overlapping everything else on top, you're getting in the right location at the right time, early in its growth cycle, you're doing your due diligence on that individual property, there is a lot of performance to be had because of this issue. And if you're going out there providing that solution, providing those rental properties for tenants that desperately need it with the rental crisis we've got going on, you're going to be rewarded. It's a pretty short, sweet one today, just going over those numbers. It's going to be interesting to see what numbers can be generated moving forward. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think we can achieve the target? Do you think we can catch up the 62,000 homes we're now behind on already to be able to meet that target over the 5 years? Or do you think we're set for failure? I'd be interested to know. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.